All right, welcome back. In this video, we are going to look at exporting our photos out of Lightroom, and so doing the opposite of our import process. So remember, Lightroom's not storing the images themselves. They are separate files that are out there on the computer, and exporting just takes your images, makes a new copy of that file in whatever file format that you would like to use. So first off, we're going to press the export button right here. And actually, before we do that, let's do the most important step. Let's go back to grid view and let's select our files. Many ways that we can do that. We can shift click to grab stuff that we want, or just select everything this way. Maybe I don't want these two, so I'm going to hold down command and deselect those. And right down here, it will show me how many images I have selected. Let's press export. Our export dialog box will come up. Export to. So this is where you can choose where your photos are going to get exported to. I have an exports folder on my computer right here. So I'm going to choose that folder, and then I can put it in a subfolder. And so for today's purposes, I'm just going to call this export demo. So I can choose to put that in that subfolder right there. Rename your files. Let's go ahead and do that. You want to use custom name and original file number. All right. So what this does is it's going to take the file number, the last 4 digits out of your file there, and go ahead and put them in place for us. And then for custom text, this is where you can add your last name and the project name to the image itself. For file settings, let's go ahead and choose a JPEG format right here. We also have Photoshop, TIFF, digital negative, and original. JPEG is ideal for our purposes. I'm going to roll this quality from 100 down to about 80. Just go in here and type that in. And for color space, choose sRGB. sRGB is the default for anything used on the web, online, most printing applications. I use Adobe RGB for all of my commercial work. Same thing with ProPhoto RGB, depending on what bureau and output it's going to. We can resize our image. Let's go ahead and just leave this, let's check that off. And we can leave our resolution at 300 is fine. If you want to add your copyright and contact info, you can, just like we've already talked about in metadata, and we'll talk more about that as the term progresses. Watermarking, you can look up in the textbook about that, but if you needed to add a watermark to an image, this is where you do so. And then post-processing, we'll go ahead and have it just show in the Finder there for us. So I'm going to change this to export demo 2. And let's press export. Lightroom's going to export those files out. It's going to make a new folder, put those images in, and then make new copies of those files. Let's just jump over to the Finder real quick. We should have export demo. Here we go. And here we have all of our files. Now you can see here that these are about 6,000 by 4,000 because we didn't resize anything. And this image in particular is coming at 2.5 megabytes. This first image is 1.8. Let's go ahead and just change and resize this first image and see what that comes into. So I'll just select one, export. I'm going to click resize. Let's do it at 50%. It's going to say, whoa, this already exists. I'm just going to say, make a unique name. And there it is right there. And now you can see that our image size is quite a bit smaller. So it's 3,000 by 2,000, and we're at 474 kilobytes instead of that 2 point, there we go. instead of 2.2 megabytes. All right, let me know if you have any questions with this in our Moodle forum. Thanks for watching.